Once you learn how to make a classic Caesar dressing, you'll never go back to the bottled stuff again. And today, we're going to learn how to make it from scratch. Let's get into it. We're starting off by separating 2 egg yolks into a bowl. These are going to be the base of our emulsion and give the dressing that rich, velvety texture. Next up, we're going to grate 1 clove of garlic right into the bowl. This way, it fully incorporates into the dressing instead of biting into a raw chunk of garlic later on. Now, the star of a classic Caesar dressing is the anchovies. I know a lot of people get weirded out when using anchovies, but trust me, they're going to add a nice salty and umami pop that you won't get from anything else. And honestly, it doesn't taste fishy at all. We're going to finely mince 3 anchovy fillets and then use the side of our knife to mash them into a paste. We're then going to take our anchovy paste and place it into the bowl along with our other ingredients. Now let's roll up a wet kitchen towel and place it around the base of our bowl to help keep it in place. This way we can use both of our hands without needing to hold onto the bowl. Next, we're adding a teaspoon of Dijon mustard, which is going to help hold our dressing together by acting as a binder. It'll also give it a nice little tang. Now it's time for the olive oil. This is the most crucial part, slowly drizzling in a half a cup of olive oil while whisking constantly. The goal here is to create an emulsion by very slowly incorporating the oil. If you dump all the oil in at once, the emulsion will break and won't come together. So really take your time and make sure to keep on whisking. Once all the oil is incorporated, the dressing is going to look really thick. To balance that out, we're going to add 2.5 tablespoons of lemon juice and a tablespoon of water. This is going to thin it out and give us that bright, tangy flavor. Now it's time for the cheese. We're going to use about a half a cup of freshly grated Parmesan. Stir that in and then we're going to give it a taste. Since the anchovies and Parmesan contain a lot of salt already, we're going to season with just a little bit more salt if needed. After tasting, I'm going to add about a half a teaspoon of salt and a half a teaspoon of black pepper. We're going to give that one final mix and that's it. That's your classic Caesar dressing. Now let's put it to good use. For the lettuce, I'm going to use romaine hearts. We don't want to cut off the entire base because that's what holds them together on the grill. We're just going to take off a little bit of the root and then we're going to slice them in half lengthwise. The romaine half should still be intact and look like this. It's okay if 1 or 2 leaves fall off, but the majority should still be held together by the core. Now drizzle a little bit of olive oil over the cut sides of the romaine halves and rub it in. The oil is going to help the romaine grill evenly and gives the seasoning something to stick to. We're going to season generously with some salt and pepper and then we're going to set them aside while we heat up the grill pan. You want the grill pan to be smoking hot. If you're doing this indoors, I recommend opening up a window so you don't set off your fire alarm. Once it's ready, we're going to place the romaine cut side down and gently press to ensure good contact with the grates. It only takes about 30 seconds to a minute to get a nice set of grill marks. Then we're going to turn our romaine about 90 degrees and sear it again to get that classic crosshatch look. This cooks the romaine just enough to get some beautiful grill marks while keeping the lettuce crisp. Once the crosshatch char has developed, we're going to take them off the heat. For some crunch, we're going to make some crispy Panko croutons. To start, we're going to melt 2 tablespoons of butter in a pan. Once the butter is fully melted, add about a half a cup of Panko breadcrumbs. Using a wooden spoon, we're going to continuously toss the Panko with the melted butter until it's golden brown. Once our Panko is toasted, we're going to season it with a pinch of salt, some black pepper, and a teaspoon of minced parsley for some color. By the end, your toasted Panko should look like this. Toasting the Panko in butter is going to give it a nice nutty aroma and really elevate our Caesar salad. Now we're going to add half of our dressing onto the warm romaine hearts and use our hands to evenly spread the dressing. Really get the dressing in all the nooks and crannies so that each bite is packed with flavor. Once our grilled romaine is dressed, it's time to plate. We're going to start by adding a small amount of dressing right onto the plate to prevent the romaine from sliding around. Then we're going to place the grilled romaine hearts right on top. After that, we're going to top them with a generous amount of that crispy Panko we made earlier, followed by some extra grated Parmesan. And there it is, a smoky, tangy grilled Caesar salad. The perfect way to switch up a classic. I like to put some extra dressing on the side just in case you want a little extra as you dig in. Speaking of which, let's cut a piece and see what we're working with here. I love using crispy Panko as the croutons because they stick to the dressing, making it easier to eat. This salad has the perfect balance of warm charred edges with crispy Panko and that tangy Caesar dressing. If you make this at home, let me know how it turned out in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more recipes. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one.